Good evening, folks, and welcome to Here's the Deal. I'm your host, Shilo, and I got my favorite co-host with me, Mr. Marvin Lepp. How are you, Marv?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Shiloh?
I'm doing good.
We're getting laughed at from up the stairs.
I'm having fun with my new toy. Don't mind my hat. And we're getting high tech. I even borrowed some headphones to try. So, anyway, how do I sound?
You sound good.
Good. So as you can see, I have my trusty mic now, so I'm going to try and be a good radio show host. We'll see how that happens. So, anyway, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's been kind of an eventful week, as you know. So, but no, we're looking up. So, what do we got on our plate for tonight?
I just think some random thoughts and rambling tonight since we don't have a guest lined up. For those of you that don't know, the next couple weeks are going to be a little light on the guests and possibly a little light on the shows. We may just kick it back to Tuesdays for now till we get past Thanksgiving, because November in my household is chaos.
Yeah.
So always is. So
yeah, it's that time of year.
Well, no, we got like 5 or 6 birthdays in under 2 weeks. So literally spoken for continuously for the next 2 weeks.
By the way, your lovely bride, it was her birthday yesterday, right?
Yeah, it sure was.
It was. So, happy birthday to Sarah.
Yep.
Again.
She's not heckling us at the moment. It was funny. Kaylin totally threw her under the bus. We do a homeschool group on Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning, before they put all the kids to their separate tutors and stuff, they asked if there's anybody's birthday, and Kaylin stood up yesterday and totally threw her mom under the bus. Everybody got to sing her happy birthday. Oh, Fleet.
That's all right. That's what they're supposed to do. I know Landry likes to do that as much as she can too to either one of us. So, yeah, it's usually her mom. So that's all right. So, well, where would you like to start this evening? I know you got a couple topics you wanted to cover. So, where would you like to start?
I wanted to know what video game we're going to be playing tonight.
Well, that might be in a couple weeks. The next thing I wanted to do is get a boom arm, That'll be
cool. Easy topics. Future guests. We're working on some guests from all over. I bumped into Kevin Kramer and his wife this last weekend. We are working on having Senator Kramer on with us here in the next few weeks, I'm hoping. Just trying to get that time frame lined up. I've reached out to some other people, including Mark Haugen. For those of you who don't know, he was a Democratic candidate last year that got bumped. And I don't even know if he got kicked out of the party or not, but it got pretty wild with Mark. So I wanted to just kind of do a follow-up with him and see where he's at with stuff. And then, we're still looking for potential candidates. I want to get some time on air before we get really into the holiday season and you get lost in the noise, because one of the topics we're going to cover tonight is donations. And another topic we're going to be covering tonight is the legislative scorecard that we are putting together for everybody. Now, I know, let's do the scorecard first, because that's going to be the easiest one. Okay. I know all the different groups put out their scorecards. And a couple weeks ago, I had joked about it with you on air about putting together a scorecard. Well, I've been tracking down all of the scorecards for our legislative assembly for this last session. So that would include North Dakota United, North Dakota Right to Life, the North Dakota Family Alliance. There's a couple other ones that are up there too, including League of Cities, League of Counties, bills that they opposed and stuff. And so we're going to be seeing kind of that overlap between them.
If I could just ask you a question right there. Now, with all of these different entities that you just named, their scorecards are based on the issues that they're how do you say this, that they are actively involved in, that they care about, like right to life is obviously got their topics that they're
Yep.
out, and these other associations, League of Cities, League of Counties, all of them. These scorecards aren't necessarily uh, a whole variety of different topics. It's basically on what they're working on as lobbyists, or however you want to say that. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, and I mean it's going to be both sides of the fence here by the time I'm done. So what I'm going to do is I'm working on getting them all compiled,
Mm-hmm.
transferring over all of their scores to one spreadsheet, and then I'm going to sit and take a look at the bills and testimony. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks we'll have a linked scorecard where people can actually go read all this stuff. And actually, I have a sample here if you don't mind. I'm going to steal the screen for a second
Sure.
of what we're building. Because, yeah, I want an overall view of how our 141 legislators are doing. So, not sure which one this one is.
Let's try and make it.
But as you can see, I have the Freedom Index, North Dakota United, North Dakota Right to Life is right here, North Dakota Family Alliance, Greater North Dakota Chambers, so that's going to be your Chamber of Commerce. And then they have a bunch. And then I found one for Paige Seidler, deals with LGBTQ plus stuff. So we're going to see where her scorecard and overlap is with everybody else here. And
Okay.
League of Cities. So I'm actually going to stack these bills side by side so you can see where the conservative viewpoint stands and the other viewpoint stands. So you'll be able to see the same bill scored two completely different ways from some
Gotcha.
of these groups.
So
So yeah, it'll be
North Dakota United is obviously the teachers union, correct?
yes, sir.
And then what does the League of Cities do? Can you tell us what the League of Cities does?
League of Cities is League of Cities is if you're from a small town, yada yada yada. The League of Cities is who is your big brother outreach to talk to, I guess would be the way to look. Because they follow the century codes that are going to be directly affecting your cities, whether it's a small town or a big city. They're going to have your breakdown on your forms of councils. They have their own legal counsel, but they also go and testify against a bunch of bills too. So, they're a private organization. They're not state funded as far as I know. But it's kind of like the Chamber of Commerce. It's a private organization. North Dakota United is a private organization. So, but they also have an awful lot of lobbying power up at the Capitol.
Yeah.
And they're not using that lobbying power towards that. They're using it towards starting or stopping petitions. So we're going to be seeing that here soon too, because who is it? North Dakota United, the League of Cities, and the League of Counties have all come out against the property tax initiative recently.
Right.
And they're getting their airtime telling people that it's going to kill their small town funding and it's going to do this and it's going to do that. And, it's the fear tactics that we're going to see shortly. And what
Yeah.
I said about a month ago, we'll probably see millions of dollars dumped into this if everybody gets their signatures on the petition.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know because when Luke was on the show, he always used to call the Chamber of Commerce the Chamber of Communism, and the League of Cities was not far behind. So I was just wondering if we get kind of a definition on what they exactly do and what they fight against. So,
Well, and like if you look at 2021
mhm.
legislative session, the Chamber of Commerce was actively testifying against any bill that would have prevented um, governor imposed restrictions like the mask mandates. So they were testifying that these control factors needed to be in place, that the governor was in the right place to be doing
Mhm.
it. Um, so yeah, if you go look at like, what was it, 1323? There was a couple different Senate bills that attached to it. Their head or chief officer or whatever you want to call them, their chairman was at the Capitol testifying an awful lot. So,
Gotcha.
including the bill that limited 3717, which is the governor's power for executive orders. He was there talking against that. So they
Hmm.
they're a private organization. They sure lobby a lot for government control. So
And the same with the League of Cities.
same with the League of Cities. Same with North Dakota United. They were testifying against Representative Christensen's primary
Yeah.
parenthood bill. They're testifying against the AI bill, trying to get those killed. So it's actually pretty interesting because it ties us into the next project which we're working on, which is donations.
Yep.
So this next little section here, we're gonna all this stuff will be up on the website soon, folks. It's just time intensive and labor intensive, and there's only so many hours in the day, and you can only look at the Secretary of State website so long before you lose your mind. But the next part will be getting up for you guys. Hopefully, before we go into the new year, will be kind of a donation spreadsheet from PAX.
Hey Marv, before you get into that,
Yeah,
everybody can see our website there. If you guys have comments, questions about any of this stuff that we're talking about, please send us a question, comments. Go to our website. Our email is on there. You guys can definitely send us a message that way, and we can look into it. Same thing with guests. If you guys have a topic you want us to cover or a guest that we can try and get on, please by all means, let us know. We will we'll get that taken care of as best we can. So, at any rate, go ahead, Marv. If
yeah. The next thing that we're working on, like I said, led from the legislative scorecard that I was working on, and kind of stemmed from the article that got posted on the website a couple weeks ago regarding Pfizer's donations to legislative members.
Mhm.
And so I'll pull that screen up next. Present, share screen. Don't mind me while I talk out loud.
It's fine.
So, Secretary of State website only goes back to like 2014. And I got to looking at tax, where the money goes, how it comes in, and started kind of following things around. What I noticed when it comes to dealing with the chamber is you look at protect North Dakota's constitution, North Dakotans against legalization of recreational marijuana, North Dakotans for sound government. Like these folks are throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars and up to millions of dollars towards stopping petitions, folks. So
Just
20, that's 2016, I think. 2014, I can't remember what that particular uh, initiative was about, but yeah, they dumped $1 million into killing it.
wow.
Yeah. And then I started following some other ones, legislators, stuff like that. So that'll be showing up. North Dakota School Board, who they're donating to. The one that really interested me was North Dakota United, who donates primarily to Democratic candidates, with the exception of 2016. They put some money into some interesting people. 2014 as well, reelect Wayne Stenjum. What else is on here? Rich Wardner,
See that.
Stenjum for House.
So those are all the people that they gave money to. Is that Oban for Senate? Like all those? Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me go here. Because they have it under different names. So North Dakota United, there's like 3 different ways to find their PAC.
Mm-hmm.
Mark
Beetle for House.
Beetle for House, Rich Wardner, Pullman's Holmberg Committee. So it's kind of interesting considering 99% of their donations go to
Friends of Cory Mock.
Yeah,
Friends
George.
of Jessica. Who's Friends of Jessica?
I don't know who that one is. But like for
Josh
Kirsten,
Posey.
something $4,500, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
this will be a interesting sheet too. I've decided though I'm gonna run for insurance commissioner because dang. I'm joking about running for office, honey, if you're watching. But you look at Friends of John Gottfried, our current insurance commissioner.
Pfizer PAC. Wow.
Yeah, Pfizer PACs donated to him for the last 6 years, but I mean, just PACs upon PACs.
Oh, look at Governor Doug Burgum.
Yeah.
Rick Berg. Wow.
PAC. That's Hoven's PAC, I believe.
Farmers Employee and Agent Political Action Committee of North Dakota. Friends of Jack Dalrymple. Doug Goring. John Hoven. So just looking at this, now people can kind of see they're all in bed together.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not even like I've avoided most of the individual donations. The only ones I tagged in here are like, okay,
Wayne Bestengen,
I mean,
Jessica Unruh.
yeah. So
Rich.
seated legislator was a seated legislator, legislator, you know, so I have those rolled in too.
Perry Schaefer.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So yeah, Microsoft PAC.
Rich Warder, Al Carlson, Holmberg Committee. Unruh for House or for Senate.
Yeah. So yeah, that's projects that we're working on.
Well, when they say follow the money, here it is, folks.
Right?
I mean, this is the proof is in the pudding, and right now here it is. Here it is.
Yeah, Planned Parenthood, they dumped a ton into killing something. Was that 2014?
Yeah.
2013?
Yep.
So yeah, stuff that'll be all available through the site here soon enough. I'll make it pretty for everyone so it's easier to print and use.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, that's what I've been working on in the background. Well, we've been busy doing other things.
Yep. Definitely.
So what do you got for us tonight, since I covered the first 20?
Well, I really don't have much. I I wanted to talk a little bit about the Election Integrity Act. And the reason I want to is because it's something that I feel is important, but I feel that I need to retract a statement or two because I have been supporting it and I like it overall. But there's just one hang up with it. And so I've thought about this a lot for the last since we've been out in Devil's Lake, because obviously we talked about it there too as well. But I like it for the most part, but there is one thing that I have a question on, and I don't think that we've gotten a fair answer or a complete answer, and that's the retroactive date. So the way that it's written now, with that retroactive date of June 1st, using the machines would invalidate the election because the intent of the Election Integrity Act itself is to eliminate the machines. Okay, so there's a couple problems. I need 31,000 signatures, I think is what they said when they were on the show, by February
I
to
think
get
something
this
like
on the
that.
primary.
Yep.
Okay. So I don't have clear clarification on this. And this is why I'm backing up on supporting this Election Integrity Act until we get some clear answers on how this retroactive date works. Because in my mind, there's a long time ago, Marvin, when I was training horses, and I had some pretty good mentors. And one of the mentors I had, he always told me, he said, Shiloh, you can't keep going through something bad and come out good. Okay, so if this part of this act is going to invalidate this, then we need to pump the brakes on it and fix it so it's correct. Like I said, overall, I like its intent. I support what they're trying to do. But if this retroactive date is going to hurt us, then we need to pump the brakes on it and do it correctly. The first time that they uh, took it to the Secretary of State's office, I mean, they changed the name. They were trying to do all kinds of things with it, right?
Yep.
So then when they took it back the second time, miraculously, it just poof. That just doesn't happen. There's a reason. And I think the reason that it happened is that somebody who knows something caught this, and this is how they're going to, invalidate it, or however you want to say that. So I just encourage the people that are supporting this and who wrote it to take a look at it and fix it if it is not correct. Like I said, I think the intent is good. I like the thought of it. I like it all the way up until this retroactive date. So I guess I just want to retract on supporting this right now until this gets fixed or we get clarification. And if somebody can clarify this to me or us or whatever, I will gladly stand corrected. I am not perfect by any means. I will stand corrected and we can move on, but as of right now, I'm calling for somebody to actually get us some answers on this retroactive date.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I mean, the petitions have to go through the Secretary of State and through the Attorney General for approval, including the name. So both Drew and Michael took a look at this.
mhm.
And the fact that it came out with the name they wanted and everything else as quickly as it did. Um, and I had asked Michael about that on the show when you were off that night too, about that
Mhm.
retroactive.
Yep.
I've had a chance to talk to a couple legislators since then. They had, without knowing the context, I brought that up, and the immediate response was, "Well, that'll invalidate it." So, I'm with you. I'd like some clarification. I would, because we've seen enough crap happen to know that there's issues.
Yep.
We have. But this is like a serious one-shot deal,
Yep.
because we've watched our legislators try and bring bills forward to address this. We've watched people speak out against this. We've watched people get hung out to dry in the media about this.
Well, I think Jeff Magrum is a prime example. What did he have? 7 or 9 different bills for election integrity this last session. I
Yep.
mean, we had Dr. Frank here during the session. They wouldn't even let us in the Secretary of State's office to even talk with them. We had that uh news conference, a press conference that we did at the Capitol, 50 feet from the Secretary of State's office. By the time the press conference was over, they'd locked the doors on us. I mean, you can go back way back in February of last year and see the live that we did. They wouldn't let us. They wouldn't even open the door to talk to us. So, and that's the other thing too, is as much work as this group is putting. I'll say this: as much work as this group is doing to pass this petition and get the signatures, for goodness sakes, let's get it right. Because as we're finding out, even with the end property tax petition, it's even harder during the second time, especially if you have mistakes like what's going on here. And again, if I'm wrong and they can come up with the reasoning behind this, then I will stand corrected. You know, one of them that I did hear was as well, this is for the June primary, so it wouldn't just we're trying to get ready for 2024. But it's still a retroactive date, right? And it's set for June 1. Our primary election is June what? 5th?
June 11th.
Okay.
June 11th is our primary.
So wouldn't it still invalidate it?
You would think. I personally, if it was me, I would have put July 1st. Still gives it time to be in place for the November election.
Yep.
So, but that's neither here nor there because I didn't write it. So
And again, I'm not trying to cause friction between the grassroots and cause division. My thing is that if we're going to do this and we need to do this, don't get me wrong, we need to. We need this. But it has to be done correctly.
Yep.
Let's put the egos aside. Let's do the right thing and make it right. And I don't care how much heat I take from the grassroots. I don't care whatever. Again, if I'm wrong on this and we can get some clarification, I will gladly admit I was wrong. You know what? Carry on. Let's do it. So, I
yeah.
guess that's it's been kind of weighing on me since we've been out there to Devil's Lake and some of these other places, and we've talked to people about it, and I mean we aren't the only ones asking questions. So, I mean, I'm good enough to stick my neck out there and try and get some answers, and again, I'm not trying to cause division. That's not what I'm about. So,
Well, and my big concern, Shiloh, this is my big concern about that retroactive date. If it does what you're worried it's going to do, it's not just invalidating the passage of this election initiative, because your June primary is your city councils, it's your school boards, it's your mayor candidates, it's your statewide candidates. If there are two Republicans or two Democrats running against each other, it's going to invalidate the primary. So it's not just one thing that it could accidentally mess up. If it is written the way it is, and it would go into effect the way it is. Because lawyers, they run on aha moments. It's the way that world works, is they look for that loophole, and I'm hoping that this isn't that loophole, where if this would gain enough signatures and it would pass, it wouldn't automatically kill itself. Yep. Because that would suck. Because rounding up another 30,000 signatures, I don't think you're going to get two shots at it.
I don't think so either, and that's why I'm bringing it up. So it is not to cut anybody's throat or make anybody look stupid or anything like that. It's because I'm concerned, and I feel that it should be done correctly.
And what concerns me again is you look back to the property tax initiative. You already have North Dakota United coming out against it. You got the League of Cities coming out against it. You got the Chamber coming out against it. I haven't heard anybody say anything about this or come out against this initiative. Nothing
Mm,
from the Secretary of State's office, nothing from Al Jagger, nothing from county auditors. Have you?
not yet. There was kind of conundrum when they first put it in, and the name got changed and all that. It kind of made some news there for a hot minute, but other than that, no,
No one's talking about it.
no. That's
And
why we need to.
yeah, and the ones that should be fighting it should be screaming about it. But I
I
haven't
wonder
heard.
why.
So it just it makes me nervous. I know it makes you nervous. And I love the intent of what they're trying to do.
Yep. You know, one thing that I like about it is electing the auditors. I believe every auditor should be elected from county to city, all of them.
Well, and you know what screws that up is the home rule charter law.
Yeah.
It's why even if they would have passed the ban on ranked choice voting through the House and Senate, the governor would have killed it because he straight up said he doesn't want to impose upon the home rule, which is funny considering he was shutting down businesses across the state 3 years ago.
Right. So just for people who might not know what a home rule charter is, could you explain that or
A home rule charter allows cities that have adopted that formula to create, amend, or deal with their own laws as long as they stay within Century Code, as long as the fines do not surpass that which is listed in Century Code. So, auditors, home rule charter counties, some of them have already adopted to the elected election officials and the auditors being appointed versus elected. Um, Cass County has an election director that's uh, works with the auditor's office. Well,
Mhm.
no, they are actually. Burleigh County is another one. I know Dunn County has an appointed auditor right now um, that lost the election, but the gal that won the election resigned before she could take her position. So this gal got appointed back into Dunn County again. Um, and it's your auditors are your local election officials. So, I mean, I agree. 100% they should be an elected position, whether it's a city or whether it's a county, or our state auditor should be elected, which Josh is, which is awesome.
Mhm.
But um, you look at what they can do within those home rule charters. So they can Fargo Grand Forks, the hate crime ordinances that they passed, that they tried to pass here in Bismarck too. They can put this hate crime ordinance together, which gives a different set of legal standing for stuff that's already in Century Code. Um, the problem with these hate crime ordinances isn't what they were addressing. Um, they added two protected classes that aren't federally recognized, other than one through executive order, but they also were lessening the crime. And anything that's considered a true hate crime actually has to be turned over to the FBI, to the Federal Hate Crime Division. So, Fargo, last time I checked, this was last year,
Mhm.
had only had two actual quote unquote hate crimes, and they both were turned over to the FBI for further investigation. But the home rule charter is what allows them to do that stuff. Um, which, your township's your most powerful level of government in the state or in your community, but we've forgotten that because everybody looks to the capital for their guidance. But again, the home rule charters are where your league of counties come into play, your league of cities come into play, because they're the ones that are like, okay, well, here's the set book of city codes that if you want to adopt the municipal codes, you can get them from the League of Cities. I think it's like 40 or 60 bucks for a town to get a hold of them. So, home rule charter is a blessing and a curse at the same time. It just depends on who your elected officials are.
Gotcha. That's interesting. Yeah. So, well, Marvin, I guess tonight I really don't have much except for, we're talking about that Election Integrity Act and, what we got coming the next few weeks. And so you got big Thanksgiving plans?
Not at the moment.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what's going on or who we're gonna have as house guests.
Yeah. True enough.
um,
I
I
gotcha.
know we're gonna be kind of filling the void here for a little bit. I'm gonna try and get some other stuff up onto our website over the next couple weeks here.
Hmm.
Information for you guys to be reading, looking into, following up on, and asking questions on. I know you wanted to get Gavin back on here for QX, talk about some of the new stuff that they got coming out. So maybe we can get them snuck on here over the holiday season.
Yeah. If you guys want to, you can go to their website, and if you're interested in getting one of those boxes, they've got a lot of stuff coming out now. And I did talk to Gavin last week, and we should schedule that. So we're actually streaming right now on QX TV. So, but if you go to their website, you can get one of the boxes. If you use our coupon code there, HTD, you can get some money off on it, and it's a good deal. I really do believe in that product. It's been kind of slow going as they've gotten it all set up, but I think when it's all said and done and it's at full max capacity on what they're wanting to do with it, it's going to be a good deal. So I know I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what it's going to bring the show as well. So as we look forward to what we're going to do in the future on growing and trying to do some other things as well. So, with that being said, Marvin, again, our website here is htdpodcastnd.com. If you guys go there, you can email us, you can contact us through the contact page. If you guys have suggestions on guests, if you have questions on anything that we've talked about, it doesn't even need to be something we talked about. If it's something you guys want us to look into, please reach out to us. That's why we have the website. Reach out to us through that way. We also got, what else do we got? Facebook page that you can reach out to us on.
Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, Truth Social,
Yep.
uh, YouTube. What else are we on?
Frank Speech, which
Thanks, Speech.
that's
Yep.
another thing too that Mike, they tested out those wireless monitor devices here during the election last week, and unfortunately I don't have all the info in front of me. I haven't had the time to look at it. At any rate, it does look like they were a success in some of these states that they were testing them out in this election. So we'll have some more information on that as well. But I encourage everybody to go out and get in a free account on Frank's Speech and Frank's Social, because on Frank's Social, during the election, we're going to be able to watch as the election goes on. And with those wireless monitoring devices, we will be able to see in real time when the machines turn on and off where in your precinct if you have one. So, and there's also going to be different organizations. Cause of America, that's Mike Lindell's group. That we each have a state um, membership through all 50 states. All 50 states have a Cause of America group. They're going to be posting election summit, election results live. Any kind of fraud that they can detect, they're going to be posting live. So it's actually going to be a really good tool. And they're still not up to full capacity on what they want it to do, but it was pretty neat to see on Tuesday night when they had the election what it was doing. So, and it's only going to grow from there. So if you don't have an account there, it's free. Just go to frankspeech.com or franksocial.com. You can sign up for a free account there. You just need an email address, and it's basically like a conservative Facebook. So it's that's the best way I can describe it. I don't know. What do you think, Marv?
No, I mean, it's been, I have a love hate with it so far.
Yeah.
Like, I like the format. I like the way it's been running. I do run into issues every now and then when we're posting articles.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that they get that smoothed out so I quit running into errors when I'm trying to get articles and guest books up on there. But it's a growing platform. Nobody's perfect the first time around.
Right. And speaking of guests, Renee, her name is Renee. We'll just leave it at that. She's the one she's basically the mind behind Frank's Social. She was down there at the election summit and did a presentation on how it was going to work after they brought the wireless monitor devices out. And it was kind of funny because that's when they got the cyber attack where we had to restart. They actually sent her backstage again because Lindell's team was working on the cyber attack because they shut it down. And they ended up bringing her out later in that day. But I'll reach out to her and see if we can't get her on because she's a wealth of knowledge on that. And she can help us out and tell people more about Frank's Social and Frank's speech, and because it's going to be a pretty good deal. I believe that. So
sweet. I'll have a for dummies guide because I'll pretend I'm a dummy on that one.
So
yeah. But yeah, I mean, the next couple weeks will probably be a little bit lighter on guests. So like we said at the beginning of the show, folks, just with the holidays coming through and the beginning of hunting season. Hopefully,
yeah, I forgot about that too.
Hopefully, everybody's being safe out there. But I know Shiloh's going to be traveling a bunch, and I know we're going to be pretty busy. We're going to make sure we're doing our Tuesday night shows, and once we get past the next couple of weeks here, we should be up and running with our 2 nights a week with guests every night. So that is one thing you missed about the website, Shiloh. If you want to be on the show, email us. We will find time to get you on. If the time frames that we normally don't have don't work for you, or the time frames that we normally have don't work for you, we will make it work.
Yep.
So the only nights that I can't do this is Wednesdays. And if we have a Wednesday night show, Farrah won't be very happy with me.
So what you're saying is you want to go 4 nights a week?
Sure, let's do it, Shiloh. But we'll do 4 nights a week. But you get to do all the guest books.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, we all know how that's gonna go. So,
right. So 2 nights a week it is.
Shoot.
But yeah, it's a little weird not seeing our profile pages up in the top corner here while we're doing this.
Yeah. I see that.
How are you holding up?
Good.
Good.
I am. Yep. No, it's been busy, so. But no, it is what it is, and we'll get through it. And so what Marvin is talking about is my wife is sick. She's been sick for a while, and so she's down there in the hospital right now, and so, but I think kind of sounds like today that they're got a plan, and the waiting game sometimes it kills you, but I think they got a plan put together, and so yeah, it's rough when your partner's sick and life gets uprooted, and especially as you know, Marvin, I'm usually the one that's sick out of us two, with whether it be with my heart or whatever, but no, we're doing good. And to be honest with you, we can't thank you guys enough. You guys have been a godsend to us, helping out with the kids and different things. So we appreciate that. But
I'm full of sugar and teaching them all my bad habits.
Yeah,
take them back with a beard.
Shoot. So
no, but But something I will ask you guys, audience, our viewers, our audience, our friends, like keep Shiloh and his family in your prayers. So
Appreciate it.
we all need to get through these holiday seasons together, and they're always tough. But
yeah, they are. They can be. So
we'll sort it out, partner.
But we're yeah, I appreciate that. We're on the road to victory, though, I think, and so we'll
Seriously,
see.
if we don't have a guest Friday, we're gonna just plug in and play some video games because you're gonna be down here, right?
Yep, I'll be down. I'll be down.
We'll set Josiah and I up with some headsets, and him and I will do a Minecraft show or something.
Well, I can bring his headset with. He's got one, so and I know he wants to do a podcast with you on Minecraft, so
yeah,
that might be arranged.
All right.
All right, folks.
Here's the deal.
Here's the deal. Thank you for watching, and we appreciate it. Again, our website is scrolling there on the bottom. If you guys want to reach out to us and let us know what you think, if you got ideas on guests or topics, don't be afraid to let us know. So with that, we will see you next time on Here's the Deal.